The hills are alive with the smell of grilling. The hills are alive with the smell of grilling.
Merrill, what are you doing?
The hills are alive with the smell of grilling.
That's the grill?
That's the grill.
Hey, we're at the Braeger family farm. This is Maddog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling, and today we're going to have some fun grilling chicken for you folks. Welcome to Maddog and Merrill's Midwest Grilling.
I'm Merrill.
And I'll be Maddog today. Hey, you know, Merrill, I don't mind it so much. We're on the farm here. It's kind of nice, but we're with a bunch of Braegers today.
Really?
Yeah, the whole family's bragging.
No.
A bunch of Braegers. Yes, and
no.
Yeah, they brag about the fact that they got beautiful stars in the evening. They can smell the fresh air, family life.
Well, they should. I'd be proud of that.
I know, but they brag about the fact they got the rolling hills of Independence, Wisconsin.
They do. It's beautiful out here.
Yeah, but they're braggers about the fact that they got 4 great kids. You know, the kids are in 4-H. I know that.
That'd be something they're proud of. I mean, 4-H is great.
Well, they're in the Montana Pioneers, but, you know, then there's braggers. They tell everybody about raising golden plump chicken.
Well, they should. They should tell everybody about raising golden plump chicken.
Well,
I'd be proud of that.
Don't get so tense.
I'm not tense.
Yes, you are too.
Well, you do. You make me tense. It makes me tense.
You need a nice little massage.
I need more than that.
Well, I've got a wonderful whole chicken in front of us, and we'll go through some massage techniques, and you can maybe relax.
I'll try to.
Okay, nice whole chicken. The number one thing we have to do is always glisten with an oil.
Okay.
So we're going to take some wonderful oil, and we're going to drizzle that over the top.
All right.
And now it becomes the relaxation time.
Okay, sure.
Yes. Can't you feel that, Merrill?
Oh.
Can you feel the tension being released? All over, up and around the shoulders and the legs, around the neck. That feel good?
I'll tell you what, I'm ready to go. Here,
I bet you are.
So we're doing whole chicken?
We're doing whole chicken on the grill. The next step, after we glisten it with an oil, and we're going to do the indirect method of cooking on the gas grill, so we'll get into that in a moment. We're going to grab a nice, great rub, Maddog and Merrill's Midwest Blend, and we're going to add some nice, beautiful rub over the top of that, because I want to season it real nice.
That's a nice
want
presentation,
some good flavor over the top of that. If we want to, a little zest of lime over the top of that if we want to. I could add some fresh herbs to the cavity. Now I have a roast holder here.
You do have a roast holder.
And the roast holders are kind of nice with the whole chickens because they can go directly on the grates of the grill, or you could put a drip pan underneath. Indirect method of cooking for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Good.
But you're doing the traditional beer butt chicken.
The traditional beer butt chicken, but today we're doing it without the beer.
On traditional.
You know, I mean, how beer butt chicken really started was a bunch of guys getting together that they really liked the flavor of the beer, the yeast, the aroma of the beer, and they tried mixing around. But they came up with a great idea, which they call beer butt chicken.
Yep, but you know what happens with beer and grills, sometimes things get a little tippy like a chicken.
It tips right over, so that's always a problem. You can go ahead and get holders that will go ahead and hold the can of beer.
Yep, absolutely.
But I've got one here which I really like using, okay? Now today, we're not going to be using beer, but we're going to be using wine.
Ooh.
Apple wine from Kerrigan Brothers.
Sounds good.
Really good flavor. It's got the yeast in there and the aroma in there.
Can I do the honors?
Go ahead and put some in there. Now you could add any type of thing that you want for flavors. Sometimes you could even put chicken broth in there, other different types of wine, beer. But I'll tell you, I'm a big lover of rosemary. And what I'm going to do is put
I'm kind of fond of ginger.
I know, I always like ginger. But I got some rosemary in there. Now, if you'd like, you go ahead and put the whole twigs in there, but I'm just putting the leaves in there.
Sounds good.
Cinnamon. A lot of people don't realize that you could use cinnamon on the chicken.
Sounds great.
Place
Flavorful.
that. Very flavorful. Now, obviously, you need the top, and this is where the butt end of the chicken goes over there. So you go ahead and place that on the top. You know, I could smell that already.
Now, I'll put the chicken over the top of that.
The honors, sir. Look at that. Could even do a little dance. I like that. I like that. That's good. That'll work.
I'm ready to go on the grill. I'm ready to go on the grill.
Very good. That'll work out fine. I like it. All right. We're all set. Ready to go.
What's that?
All set.
Guys, it's the Braeger family.
Braeger. Yeah, I knew that.
Are you
Braeger
Joe?
family.
I'm Joe Braeger.
Joe Braeger. I'm Merrill.
Nice to meet
I'll
you.
give you the elbow. I'll give you the elbow.
Elbow shake. I love it.
Or the wing.
The wing shake. I like that.
Now, your lovely wife, Noelle, and your kids' names are?
Rosalie,
Okay.
John, Tessa, and Allison.
You got them all?
Got them all.
All right, just checking.
Well, you got a gorgeous farm, and I hope we're making you proud by cooking some of your golden plump chickens that you raise. Merrill, why don't you open up the hood right there?
The unveiling?
Over this way here.
All
if you would.
right.
Yep, stand this way here.
Wow.
Isn't that
Now
gorgeous?
that is beautiful. Beautiful chicken.
I love it.
Yep, isn't that gorgeous? So there's the golden plump chicken. We did it the indirect method of cooking with the 2 outside burners on your gas grill. Center burners turned off and look gorgeous, doesn't it?
How soon till we eat?
Well, I'll tell you what, Merrill's got to introduce himself to some of your children because they're in the 4-H, so we'll get going on that in just a minute, too. How's that?
Excellent.
Sounds good. Gonna be good eats.
View past episodes of our show by going to maddogandmerrill.com and click on Midwest Grillin'.
Welcome back to Maddog Merrill's Midwest Grilling. I'm with Joe Braeger here. Thanks for joining me again, Joe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And what a pleasant day here on the farm. I'll tell you, it's great. Now, is every day on the farm that's wonderful?
Always, always.
The sun's always shining, the crops are always growing,
You
life's
bet.
good. Can you help me do a little grilling?
I would love to.
You know, you look like a grillologist.
I hope to learn.
Your family's being well fed, I can see that. I know you're learning a couple things about grilling golden plump chicken today.
Yes, I have.
So that's good. We're gonna do a little fireman's chicken.
Oh, great.
Now, as we do the fireman, look, I miss my roast. I miss my ribs.
I miss my chicken.
And that's what we're gonna do is miss your chicken. You're absolutely great. We're gonna do a little fireman's chicken.
Okay.
Now, how long you been on the farm here, Joe?
I've been on, well, actually been here all my life.
Ever since you were a little shaver?
Ever since. My father started back in the 60s.
Really? And what type of farming did he do back then?
Dairy farming.
Dairy farming. You still do a little dairy
We
farming?
still have dairy cows, correct?
Yeah. And what's life on the farm like, Joe?
Well, I mean, it's a great opportunity with a lot of work, quite a bit of stress, little pay, but we have a great time at it.
Sounds like grilling.
Always under the heat here.
Now, how do you get your kids involved?
Oh, it's great. This is great. The kids have such a wonderful opportunity on the farm with their fair animals, their different projects. During the summer and other times of the year, it's a great opportunity. We get to work together as a family a lot.
And I know your wife Noelle is a teacher.
That's correct.
And she teaches what, first and second grade?
First and second grade.
Yeah. So about your age group.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what she says.
I bet.
She always says, I say we have 4 children. She says she has 5.
I know the feeling. I got Merrill. Hey, well, we were chatting a little bit about life on the farm. We put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in here, and this is the old-fashioned fireman's chicken. A little bit of apple cider vinegar in here, and then any type of mustard, like Martha's hot mustard. And this actually is good because it has the egg base in there, and you shake that all up, and all we have to do, Joe, is push that over spray that over the chicken as it's cooking. It adds moisture, it adds flavor. Now the chicken that we did today, by the way, because we really didn't talk much about the golden plump chicken pieces, on the charcoal grill, Joe, we did indirect method of cooking. So I put the charcoals on both sides, let them get good and gray. All the golden plump chicken wet in the center. We put the hood down, and it cooks up in about an hour or so. It's foolproof. Even Merrill could do it.
Okay, well, maybe I could do it.
A little bit of time. Now the apple wedges I'm going to add to that. Actually, last night I took apple wedges, I cut them up, I threw them to a Ziploc baggie. I added some lime so they don't turn on you. You don't want the apples to turn on you. And then you put brown sugar over the top. And I'm just going to put these in between the different wedges or different pieces of chicken. We're going to put the hood down and let that cook for the 20 minutes that we have left.
Okay.
And now we got Rory coming up from Golden Plump Chicken in a little bit. He's going to help me baste the chicken with a barbecue sauce. And Merrill's going to be down with John. He's going to be milking a steer.
There we go. That'll be fun.
Won't it though?
That'll be
We'll
fun.
see what happens with that one. Merrill, are you milking that steer?
You're not going to make me sing again, are you?
John, I would not make you do that. I know it was pretty hard, but I'll tell you. We're with John Braeger today, and we're going to be talking a little cattle action today. Now, what is the name of your steer here?
Mr. Meaty.
Mr. Meaty. He does look like Mr. Meaty. Now, how old is Mr. Meaty? A year maybe?
Year
and a quarter,
half,
something like that? He looks good. He looks attentive. So now you're getting him ready to go to the fair.
Yeah.
Now, have you judged, went to the fair before?
Yeah.
And what did you enter last year? Did you enter another
Yeah.
steer?
Same color, same breed, everything.
And have you done anything besides steers, or has it always been
Well, I used
steers?
to do pigs. And then I
Okay.
started, then way back, I used to do the calves, heifer
All right.
calves.
So do you have any idea when you're judging, what are the judges looking for when you're judging your steer?
Well, they look at the brisket sometimes, but
Okay.
if it's, well,
And that part there is the brisket? What is
Yeah.
that the part there, the front part's the brisket?
Yeah.
Because that's really interesting. I got to do a little barbecuing thing on here. Is the fact that a lot of people want to know where the brisket is. I really didn't know where the brisket was, so I had to come out here to Braeger Farm. And John, the brisket's right in the front. And that's a really good cut of meat. I'll tell you, you can't beat the brisket. That is some really good eating. So that's very important that they're looking for the brisket. Anything else that they're looking at?
they look if its back is straight and
Very
If
important,
it's-
very important. And you're going to be judging this at the county fair. And what is the 4-H club that you're a member of?
Montana Pioneers.
Montana Pioneers. I mean, that's what it's all about, folks. I mean, you got to sit back, relax, and really have a good time. I was a 4-H'er. You know, I was talking to your mom. I was an FFA. Great organizations. Really encourage everybody to come out to your local county fair. Back up the kids 100%. John, thank you so much, everybody. Everybody, happy grilling. Talk to you a little bit later. Hey, Mad Dog, what did the steak say to the knife?
I don't know, Merrill. What did the steak say to the knife?
Do you want a piece of me?
Do you want a piece of me?
If you have a comment or suggestion about today's show, contact us at maddogandmerrill.com. And don't forget to friend us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Maddog Merrill's Midwest Grilling. We're having a great time on the Braeger farm here today. I'm with Rory from Golden Plum Chicken. Rory, thank you for inviting us to the farm here.
Thanks for coming out here with us.
You know, a couple city slickers like Merrill and I, we need to be on the farm now and then.
Brings it back to reality. I do. I need to get out.
Tell us a little bit about the farm families of Golden Plump Chicken.
Well, Golden Plump is proud to be partners with over 300 farm families in Wisconsin and Minnesota. What we attribute to success is to longevity. We have over 40% of our farm families have been with us for 20 years or more.
And those generations, are they being passed on to their children, the farming?
Absolutely. There's a number of our family farmers that have been with us for generations. They keep it in the family as a tradition.
And let's talk a little bit about relationships that you have with the farmers and how it creates better chickens.
We'd like to say that with all of our family farmers that raise our chickens, that it's them that puts the high quality and the great taste in the chicken that we bring out to consumers.
And speaking of quality and standards, I would assume that the raisers of the Golden Plump Chicken, the farmers, have to reach certain quality standards.
All of our family farmers raise our chicken right. And what that means is that our chickens are treated humanely. They're provided fresh water, given wholesome feed, and given an environment where they can roam throughout the barns.
Isn't that great? Now we met Joe a little bit earlier. Let's meet the better half, Noel.
Let's do it.
Noel, come on in there, dear. Thank you so much. Can I get a hug?
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you inviting us to the farm here, and your hospitality. You're great. Thank you.
And thank you.
Yeah, and your kids are wonderful. Merrill's having a great time showing with the animals down there. They're going to be in the county fair.
Yes.
So we appreciate that. Why start raising chickens, Golden Plumps?
The reason I began raising chickens is I was teaching at the time, and my husband and I decided it would be a great opportunity for me to be able to stay home and raise our family, and you know, the chickens were a big part of being able to do that financially.
Well, it certainly worked. You got 4 lovely children. We met 3 of the other ones at horse camp.
Yes, she's right at a horse camp.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, other family members, do they raise chickens?
As a matter of fact, 25 years ago, my oldest sister put up 2 buildings, and since then my dad has 2 buildings, and 2 of my nephews are raising chickens, and soon to be my brother-in-law will be putting up a building.
And young John?
I'm sure he'll be part of the picture eventually.
Isn't that great? Now, what does it mean to be part of the Golden Plump family?
Well, I'd have to say it's being a part of that bigger family, that bigger picture, which says in the end we'll have this great product on the grill behind you.
And it is going to be delicious. I can't wait for lunch. And we're going to do a little bit of unveiling, and then Merrill's going to be down with Tessa and showing a couple of the pigs. Here's some of the nice Golden Plump chicken pieces that we did with Howling Wolf barbecue sauce on the top, the apple wedges on top of there, and of course we have our Golden Plump whole chickens over here. We have the holder over here with the apple wine in, and just the nice roast holder of those chickens. I say they're at a perfect 175. What do you think for temperature-wise?
Awesome.
They look delicious.
Looks great.
Smells great.
So, well, let's head her down to Tessa and 2 pigs.
You bet.
Wonderful.
Hey, we're with Tessa today. Now, Tessa, you know, I feel honored because this is something that I can relate to. You're a beautiful young lady, but I'm in with the pigs today. There's some place that Mad Dog said that I belong, but you raise pigs. You're getting ready for the county fair?
Yep.
What county fair are you going to?
Buffalo County Fair.
Buffalo County Fair. And have you been there before?
Oh, yes. Long time already.
Really? Now, how many years have you been showing pigs?
About 2 or 3 around there.
I see. Now, last year you won the championship in what?
Showmanship, I did.
Showmanship. Now, when you're showing a pig, I mean, what are some of the responsibilities that you have to look for?
Pretty much feed them, keep
Okay.
them watered, keep them clean as you can. Pigs like to get dirty, obviously, and cool down, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what are the judges really looking at when they're judging you for showmanship?
See if they have lots of muscle, not lots of fat in it.
I got the, well, I don't have the
like him.
muscle, but I think I got the fat, I think, on there. Okay, so.
And to see if they're clean, well, if they're not really scratches all over them and stuff around there.
Okay. And so you're just, these two pigs here, what are their names? Do you have names for them?
Oh, one is named Lunch and the other one is named Dinner.
Ah, so they're for lunch and dinner.
Yeah, pretty
Very
much.
good, very good. Now, I noticed they've got some tags or something in their ears. What is that all about?
That's for like their ID and see when they got weighed last.
Okay, all right. And then for lunch and dinner, what do they have for lunch and dinner?
Pretty much just everyday corn and water.
Corn and water. They like corn and water, and of course they do like the mud. It does seem rather soothing. I mean, I wish that I could do that on a day like today. You know, it's nice, it's hot. I'd love to just to take my shoes off and sit right in with those pigs, sit back, relax, maybe have a drink in my hand, and just wallow around in the mud. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. So are you getting ready for the fair?
Yeah, a long time already.
Is it? And there's a lot of work to get prepared?
Yep.
You got it. And what type of work do you have to do to get prepared to go to the fair?
You have to make sure you have to walk them so they don't get too fat, and you have to make sure they're fed and make sure that they stay clean and don't get like stained full of stuff and don't get scratched up.
All right, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to stay clean and not to get scratched, and I'm gonna go over and try to milk that steer. They say I can't do it, but I know I could do it.
View past episodes of our show by going to maddogandmerrill.com and click on Midwest Grillin'.
Welcome back to Mad Dog and Merrill's Midwest. We're with Joe and Noel together again on the deck. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us here today.
Having a great time.
Isn't it? What a gorgeous day here on the farm. And of course, being together, I would assume you folks work 60, 70 hours together. So is it kind of rough once in a while?
I couldn't think of a place I'd rather spend more time than with my husband, Joe. But you know, the good thing for us is that we have our own separate jobs.
I take care of the cows.
And I take care of the chickens.
Isn't that great? So really, you split up during the day. You come back for family values, the nice dinner in the evening, things like that. The kids go to Grandma's and have some meatballs at lunchtime, right around 10 in the morning when they get up. But I would assume that they, besides with Grandma and eating meatballs, they learn something on the farm.
Yes, they learn a wonderful work ethic. They have responsibilities, and working with the animals teaches them a whole lot about life.
Merrill, the kids got responsibilities. Why don't you learn something from them? You should see that guy. I'll tell you, what a slough off all the time. Now, any thoughts of ever leaving the farm?
For me, no. This is a place I know I'd always want to be. I'm so glad that my kids have the opportunity to be here, you know, to be born and raised on a farm.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? And when the tractor breaks down, possibly.
Yeah, possibly, but you know, I get the tractor fixed, I'm back at her.
Well, we're gonna go down and see Rose Lee, and she's with Merrill and her beautiful horse. Sounds good. We'll be right back. Merrill, we're coming.
He's munching really well. He's eating well. I'm ready to eat. The chicken's almost done. We're with Rose Lee, and I'll tell you, what's the horse name?
His name is Eclipse.
And how old is Eclipse?
He is about 22 years old, so he's pretty old.
22 years old. He's in great shape for a horse, 22 years old. And what type of horse is he?
He is a quarter horse. He's a really big one.
And do you show him at the county fair?
Yeah, I show him in Western and English.
Western and English. That's sort of interesting because usually most people will either go one or the other.
Yep.
So in the Western division, quarter horse division then?
No, I just show him as just Western.
That's Western. And then on the English, that's sort of interesting.
Yeah.
And you told me that he likes to go out with you, chase the cattle?
Yep, he helps me move the cattle and we do a lot of trail riding.
And how long have you had Eclipse here?
Well, he's actually owned by my uncle, but I pretty much abducted him from him. We've had him for about 16 years now.
I'll be darned. And you're both pretty much pretty good buds?
Yep, we're pretty cool.
And what's Eclipse like to eat?
He likes grain and a lot of grass, and every now and then when he gets out, the alfalfa in the field.
And when you've shown him, how has he done?
He does really well. In Western, he gets normally grand champion in his own, like, judged on him. And I took him to a jumping show last year just to wing it.
And he jumps, too?
Yeah, and he got first. It was pretty crazy.
That's sort of really unheard of, to be honest with you.
I was winging it.
And then just to let the people know, when you're go ahead and judging in the Western Division, what are they looking for? What are the categories that they have them do, the horses
Well,
do?
for Western, they normally want them to move really slowly and look relaxed, kind of like how his head is right now.
Sure, that's something I could do. I'm always really relaxed on my head, sort of head down.
They like to look for a lot of muscling, kind of like right in there and on his back legs. And they also kind of look for like a horse, they have to look like they work. So they don't only have to look muscly, but they have to look pretty used to everything.
Boy, I'm failing all already. 2 for 2, I'm wrong. What's the third thing that they're looking for? or anything. That's
they
it?
really look for how you work with the horse. They don't want you to look like you're pulling on the reins. They want it to look like almost you're not even doing anything and he just knows what he's doing.
Sure. Now, is there any difference when you show him in English? Is there anything different except for the saddle?
Yeah, different bridle. They want them to look with their neck more rounded.
Okay.
And they want their bodies to look more tucked underneath them. And they want more knee action and to look more alert.
I'd feel at that too with everything trying to be tucked underneath me. Well, hey, let's go get something to eat. I'm hungry. He has been eating. Let's go eat, okay?
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
If you have a comment or suggestion about today's show, contact us at maddogandmerrill.com. And don't forget to friend us on Facebook.
Well, many thanks to the great Braeger family
And our good friend Rory from Golden Plump Chicken.
and the gorgeous rolling hills of Independence, Wisconsin for the beautiful setting here today.
It is beautiful.
It
There's
is.
no doubt about that. And hey, how about some Golden Plump Chicken? We did indirect. It's the Golden Plump Fireman's Chicken that we did on the grill.
And of course, we had the whole chickens that we did with the apple wine and herbs. They were delicious. Well, don't be shy, folks. Eat up. You can see there's plenty more Golden Plump Chicken where that came
There
from.
is.
You need a napkin, Joe, for goodness sake.
Maddog and Merrill's Midwest Grillin' is a production of Lashbro Visual Communications.